Challenging questions are a good way to test your memory and warm up your brain. Test your knowledge in this quiz and see if you can answer more than half of the questions correctly. If you're ready, let's get started. In which country are the geothermal springs of Pamukkale located? Egypt, Jordan, Turkey. Pamukkale is a thermal spring in the province of Denizli in southwestern Turkey. Thanks to the saturation of the waters with calcium, the springs over the centuries have formed a cascade of terraced baths decorated with snow-white calcite stalactites. The complex of 17 mineral springs is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. What is the name of the smallest, stunted, people in the world? Baobeans, Sumerians, Pygmies. In most people's understanding, pygmies are stunted peoples from the rainforests of Africa who hunt and gather. In fact, anthropologists refer to pygmies as representatives of any human population with an average height below 150 centimeters. That is, pygmies inhabit not only the Black Continent, but also other areas with a tropical climate, the Malay Peninsula, the Philippines, the Andaman Islands, the mountains of New Guinea, Fiji, Australia, Indonesia, Brazil, and Bolivia. Where was processed cheese first made? Nice. London. Ton. The first processed cheese appeared at the beginning of the 20th century, in 1911. It was invented in Switzerland by scientists Walter Gerber and Fritz Stettler, who worked for the country's defense industry. The main food of Swiss conscripts and reservists was traditionally fondue, made on the basis of melted cheese, which quickly spoiled. In the course of their research, Gerber and Stettler discovered melting salts, the addition of which prevented the melted cheese from going stale. Today, you can't have processed cheese without melting salts. On which continent is the Cape of Good Hope located? Australia, Africa, South America. The Cape of Good Hope, the most famous cape in Africa, is located in South Africa, on the Cape Peninsula. It used to be considered the southernmost point of Africa, but it was later determined that the southern point is 155 kilometers south, at Cape Needle, due to the fact that the coastline here turns east for the first time, opening a passage from the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian Ocean. This used to help ships get from Europe to the Far East, but now the Cape remains popular for its scenery, which attracts millions of tourists. The name of the gladiolus flower comes from the Latin word for arrow, joy, sword. The name gladiolus comes from the Latin word gladius meaning sword and literally gladiolus translates to little sword. One of the most famous legends about this beautiful flower is the myth of two ancient Roman warriors. According to it, a cunning ancient Roman commander captured warriors from Thrace and demanded that they be given to gladiators. He ordered two loyal brave friends to fight against each other, but the warriors threw themselves into each other's arms. Then they were killed. As soon as the bodies of the friends fell to the ground, gladiolus emerged from their swords, which even today are considered a symbol of camaraderie, loyalty and spiritual elevation. Thus the gladiolus became a symbol of strong-minded people, a kind of sword flower of the warrior. What is marzipan made of? Hazelnut, walnut, almonds. Marzipan is a confectionery product that can be consumed in its original form or used as an ingredient in desserts. Marzipan is made in the form of a dough from powdered sugar ground almonds into flour. The nut mass has a plastic texture, so it is easy to mold figures or decorations for cakes. Almonds can be replaced with peach or apricot kernels. Such a product will be called persipan. The largest gap between the birth of twins. 1 day. 2 weeks. 3 months. Irish resident Maria Jones Elliott was carrying twins and was only 23 weeks pregnant when she gave birth to her first daughter on June 1, 2012. Baby Amy miraculously survived, born weighing about 500 grams. The second twin, Katie, remained in the womb and was born on August 27 of the same year, 3 months later. The difference between the births of the twins amounted to a record 87 days. The homeland of tangerines? Africa, South America, China. Tangerines grow in many different countries, with China and Vietnam, southern regions, being the countries of origin. The trees grew in the wild, with some 27 varieties described as early as 1178. Mention of it is found in one of the Chinese manuscripts. The tradition of giving tangerines, which grow in the south, originated in China. Each guest brought 2 fruits to the hosts for good luck and took as many away with him. This served as a symbol of wealth and prosperity, because the phrase "a pair of tangerines" is consonant with the word gold. When did the Matryoshka doll appear in Russia? 1550. 1890. 1760. Matryoshka is a Russian wooden toy in the form of a painted doll with smaller dolls like it inside. The first 8-faced doll, made in 1890, was a round-faced peasant girl in an embroidered shirt, sundress and apron, covered with a colorful scarf, holding a black rooster. The girl with a black rooster was followed by a boy, then again by a girl. All the figures were different from each other, and the last, the 8th, depicted a swaddled baby. In 1890 their mass production as toys and souvenirs began. What number is considered a lucky number in China? 8, 6, 13. The number 8 is considered the happiest number in Chinese culture. It sounds like wealth and prosperity. The Chinese are even willing to pay generously extra to have the number 8 present when buying an apartment, floor or suite number, license plate number or phone number. The official opening ceremony of the Summer Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008 began on August 8, 0808, at exactly 8 hours 8 minutes and 8 seconds in the evening local time, and not in vain. 6 8s played into the hands of the Chinese, who brought the country that time a lot of gold. I hope you found this quiz useful and learned a lot. See you soon.